The topic that I'm going to cover now is threaded binary tree. Now, this is an example of a binary tree. Now, the question is, what do we do when a node does not have a child? When a node does not have a child, we store null. And where do we store the null? Suppose we consider this node D. When we are creating this node D, we are allocating memory for this node, correct? Because when we are creating any structure using linked list, the first thing that we need to do is we need to ask for a memory from the compiler, correct? So when I am creating this node D, I am asking for a memory. So I am given a memory. The memory has got three parts. I am storing D over here. This part is I am storing null. This part also I am storing null. This is how a node of a normal binary tree looks, correct? Now, the concept is I have already allocated memory for this node. I have already allocated memory. So when I am storing these null values over here, basically I am wasting the memory that I have already allocated, because since I have allocated the memory for the node D, this memory has been already given to me. So when I am storing null, that means I am wasting this memory space that I have allocated, right? So threaded binary tree brings in a concept where these null values, when we are having null values in the child fields of the nodes, we utilize those fields without storing null value. Again, I will repeat, when I have already allocated memory, for a node, if the node has got its child values as null, then I would store something else in those child values so that the spaces are not wasted. I will not store null in those empty child links. I will store any other value. Now we have to see what are those values that I will store in these null spaces so that these spaces gets utilized. Am I clear? So threaded binary tree will try not to waste these spaces by storing null. So what do they basically store? This portion, if node does not have a child, have a right child, then we store the address of in order successor, right? And this location, if left child not present, if left child not present, then store address of in order successor, correct? So if the child links of any node are null, then instead of storing null in those spaces, we would store the address of the in order successor if it is a right child, and we will store in order predecessor if it is a left child, correct? Now, there are three types of threaded binary tree. One is called left threaded. Second one is called right threaded, and third one is called fully threaded, correct? Now what is left threaded binary tree? let me draw a tree again and I will show you what is a left-threaded binary tree. This is D. Let me keep this empty. This is E and this is F. Now left-threaded means all the left null links are connected to the in-order predecessor. The right null links are kept as it is. All the left null links are pointed to the in-order predecessor. The right null links are kept as it is. So you see, this is a right null link, so it will be kept as it is. I am talking about left-threaded. In case of left-threaded binary tree, the right links are kept null as it is. So all these right nulls will be kept as nulls. The left null links will be pointing at in-order predecessor. Now let's see which is the in-order predecessor. Let's write down the in-order traversal of the tree. In-order traversal of this tree is D, B, A, E, C, F. So in-order predecessor of E, in-order predecessor of E is A. So this will be pointing at A. In-order predecessor of F is C. So this will be pointing back at C. You see, till now C was pointing at F and there was no way F was pointing back at C. But in left-threaded binary tree, F is pointing at C, E is pointing at A. Correct? Now come to D. D also does not have any left child. So what will happen to this? D is the first node of the in-order traversal. So there is no way I have an in-order predecessor of D. I will repeat again. All the left links have to point at in-order predecessor. Now D is the first node of my in-order traversal. So there is no preceding node to D. So what will happen to this particular link? This particular link will point back at a node that is called the head node. This link will point back at a node which is called a head node, and the head node is nothing but, this is a head node. Head node is nothing but that points to the root of the tree. D will point to a head node. What is a head node? It is a pointer that points at the root of the tree. Since D does not have any in-order predecessor, it will point to a head node which points back to the root of the tree. Correct? Now, let us come to the right-threaded binary tree. Now when we are talking about right-threaded binary tree, by now you must have already got the idea that in case of right-threaded, all the left null links will be kept as it is. All the left null links will be kept as it is, and all the right null links will be pointing at the in-order successor. All the right null links will be pointing to the in-order successor. So again, let me write down the in-order traversal of this tree. This is the in-order traversal of the tree. So this D has a empty right link. So this empty right link will be pointing at in-order successor, that is B. So again you see, in normal binary tree there is a pointer from B to D. There is no pointer from the child to the root. But in case of threaded binary tree, there is a link from the child to the root of the child or parent of the child. B has an empty right link. So who is the in-order successor of B? That is A. So B will be pointing back at A. E has an empty right link. It will be pointing back at C, that is the in-order successor of E. F, there is no in-order successor of F. So just like the left-threaded binary tree, right-threaded binary tree, F will point at a head node. Head node is nothing but a node that points at the root of the tree. Head node is nothing but a node that stores the address of the root of the tree. So this is how a right threaded binary tree will look. Now coming to the fully threaded binary tree. Fully threaded binary tree is, fully threaded means it would have left threads as well as right threads. Both left and the right threads will be present in a fully threaded binary tree. So let me draw the same diagram and show you how a fully threaded binary tree looks like. You can draw it yourself and then you can match it with the answer. So let me draw the head node over here, which points at the root node. This is the head node. This tree will point at, all the right links will be pointing at the in order successor, and all the left null links will be pointing at the in order predecessor. So you see, this is how a fully threaded binary tree will look. All the empty left and the right links all will be connected with some node or the other. So there won't be any null stored in any of the nodes. So all the spaces that was storing null, it will be eliminate. All the nodes that was storing null, those null the storing of the null values will be eliminated, and you would be storing address of some node or the other in your nodes or the empty spaces. Now what is the utility of this threaded binary tree? In case of threaded binary tree, since we are storing the in order successor or in order predecessor, for that reason there are cases where the search time gets reduced. The search time gets reduced. How is the search time gets reduced? The search time gets reduced because you do not have to backtrack to the in order successors or in order predecessors. You just can directly go. You see, if we are at E, we can directly go back to A from E. So if the search is such, or if the algorithm is such that you have to go back to the root node from the leaf node, then you do not have to backtrack it through all the levels of the tree. You can just directly reach to the root node from E using the thread. So that is where the time gets reduced. So there are certain algorithms in which this threaded binary tree helps in reducing the search time. Correct? Now, another most important point about a threaded binary tree is the structure of the threaded binary tree. Before I tell you the structure, the question that you have to answer is, this is a node, right? I am storing data over here, and I store the address of the left child over here and right child over here. Okay, so long if the right child and left child were not present, I was storing null. But now, if left and right child is not present, I am storing address of some node or the other. So the question is, how will you identify that the address stored is that of a child, or is it a thread? How will you determine that? That in this place or in this place, when I am storing the address of in order successor or in order predecessor, in that scenario, how would you identify that these are not child links, these are threads? How do you make that differentiation? So this is a question. So when you ponder on this question, you will understand that this structure won't suffice in case of a threaded binary tree. You need to find out whether there should be a way to find out whether the address stored points to a child or points to a in order successor or predecessor. Correct? So in a way, we have to find out whether the address is that of a child or is it a thread. Correct? So that is why the link or the structure has to change. The structure of a threaded binary tree is like this. There are 5 portions in the structure of a threaded binary tree. This is the data part. This is the right link. This is the left link. Correct? Now, this portion is called LT and this portion is called RT. If LT is equals to 0, then L link, the address in the L link is child. If LT is equals to 1, then L link is a thread. What do I mean by this? That means if I want to store address of left child over here, I will make LT value as 0. If I want to store the address of a thread over here, I will make LT value as 1. When I am storing the address, if my address is addressing to a left child, then I will make my LT 0. If my address is pointing to a thread, I will make my LT value as 1. This LT and RT both are 1-bit values. Both are 1-bit values. LT is also 1 bit, RT is also 1 bit. So similar to LT, if RT value is 0, if RT value is 0, that means L link is storing the address of the right child. R link is storing the address of the right child. If RT value is 1, that means R link is storing the value of right thread. Clear? RT value 0 means R link has a child link. RT value 1 means R link is a thread address. So to determine whether the link is pointing to a child or it is a thread, we need to add 2 1-bit values to determine it. So again, I'm just for the clarification, if whenever you are storing the address of the child, you have to make LT or RT as 0. When you are making R link and L link point at threads, then you have to make LT and RT 1, just to show that all these are threads and these are not child links. Correct? So that is all that we need to know about threaded binary tree. It is a small topic. So we need to know that all the null links are used in the threaded binary tree to store the address of the in order successor and predecessor. There are 3 types of threaded binary tree: left, right and fully threaded. And the node structure of a threaded binary tree is like this, where there are 5 sections in the node structure. Fine.